Welcome back, my boozy friends. It is Friday, which means it is the end to another week and the start to another weekend. So if you don't have a beverage, go grab one, because that's what we do here. This week's book review will be Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And I know that a lot of people are like, you can't start with this one. And the other people are like, you can start with this one. I started with this one. It is what it is. Y'all can yell at me if you want. And the wine I have already drinking the majority of is 19 Crimes. I got a Shiraz. It is a 3.75. No, scratch that. Rewind. It is a 4.25 out of 5. It is really good. I like it. It's a nice switch of pace. I recommend. And the reason I picked this wine out is because our main character is a bit of a criminal and has definitely committed at least 19 crimes, but definitely more. Our main character is Celaena Sardothien, because heaven forbid anyone in Sarah J. Maas's books be named like Jessica or Ryan. They all gotta be some Celaena Sardothien, and there's a whole freaking thing in the back because you need it, trust me. And my other books by her did not have that in the back, and that was difficult. At any rate, Celaena is an assassin, and she was in Endovier for a year, which is a underground mining prison camp for criminals, and basically you're lucky if you make it a month, and she's been there for a whole year. But ding ding ding, it's her lucky day because she is leaving, and that is because the crown prince Dorian is in need of her. Let me rephrase that. He is in need of her services. That sounds no better. He needs her because his father, the king, is looking for a champion. And because she is an assassin, and not only is she an assassin, she is an infamous assassin. Is well known for being brutal. And the girl is 18. So she is one, a girl, two, she's 18. So it's incredible. Which sounds, I guess it's not incredible, it's kind of bad, but whatever. The king of Adarlan is looking for a champion, i.e. basically his own personal assassin to get rid of his opponents. I don't even know, but a bunch of people, 24 to be exact, one being Dorian, select a champion to partake in this contest, battle, whatever, to become the king's champion, and the assassin for that, yeah. And so Celaena is in it, and the deal is she goes with him, and if she wins, she serves the king for 4 years, and at the end, she will be free. Completely free. No going back to Endovier, no still being an assassin for King Adarlan, or King of Ardalan, whatever the heck. And some background on our girl Celaena. She's had a pretty hard past, you know. Both her parents were murdered, and then she was adopted by this assassin trainer. And so that was good, I guess, except he trained her to be an assassin, and then she was literally known as Adarlan's assassin. And then she ended up in Dovier because her boyfriend, if you will, was brutally slaughtered and murdered also. And so everyone this girl has ever loved has been murdered, and then she spent a year in prison camp. And so she's I assume there was no wine in Endovier, therefore I'm not interested. So she meets, from the beginning with Dorian, she meets the captain of the guard, and his name is Kale. And he's, I really like him. But he's not really about Celaena, because obviously she's an assassin, and so he's captain of the guard for the king, and she's an assassin, and so obviously those two don't go together. But her competition starts with the other 23 candidates, and they are all males, obviously, and so they're all looking at her you gonna lose, you're a woman, you suck, and you're 18, you're barely a woman. And Kale's literally try to stay in the middle of the field, because that is where you won't be overestimated, but you won't be underestimated, and that is how you kind of thrive until the end. Stay in the middle. But I will tell you something right now. Usually I like the main characters, and I don't not like Celaena, but she is so arrogant, like, or maybe it's just confidence that I've just never known, so maybe it comes off as arrogance. But this girl is so confident in herself. She's like, that man who can probably bench press 6 of me? You call yourself a man? Like, honey, you are a starved, maybe 90-pound, 18-year-old girl. I'm sorry, but if he wants to hurt you, no matter what training you have, he will hurt you. These tests range from anywhere from Selena and the others shooting archery at targets that are at varying lengths to also scaling the whole castle wall with just your hands and feet. So they get more complex, but also they're just like, you know, tests. No one's dying yet, except they're dying because, did I forget to mention that people are dying? Not from the test, but because there's some weird things happening in the castle. And then Selena meets Nehemia, who is the princess of Elway, who is here to embrace and strengthen diplomatic relations. And that sounded like a very fancy name, so I feel like it now has to be in a British accent. And this is probably not even a British accent. It is something that I have made up, and I'm okay with it. And so her and Nehemia are friends, and Nehemia only speaks Elway. Fun fact, though, Selena knows it, and so she's able to communicate, and so they're like becoming BFFs, which is great. Dorian and Selena kiss. I don't know why I'm not here for Dorian and Selena. I'm here for Chaol and Selena, but something about Dorian and Selena just really doesn't work for me. Dorian kind of reminds me of Maven and Cal from the Red Queen series if you merge the two. And like Cal's fine and Maven's not, and so like I'm like, there's just something wrong with him, and like the fact that he's like super suave, but also like, I love her, I need her, I miss her. Like, dude, grow up. I feel like that's just love, so I don't know what's wrong with me. Also, you may have noticed that I don't have a glass, and it's because I realized that what's the point when I'm drinking the whole bottle anyway? I don't know why it's taken me this long to now realize that, but saving dishes! And if we go back to the part where I was saying weird things were happening, there's like some mystical stuff, because apparently there are no fairies or fae in this book, but there might be in the next ones because they talk about them and magic and stuff, but it's been banished from now. And so there's some weird things happening though, and Selena is dealing with them. She's seeing the old queen, which was like part fae and part not fae, and she's trying to help her go through this because she wants her to be the king's champion. And so Selena is like, I don't really know. But now we're getting down to like the final few because so many have died off or lost and been eliminated. It's down to just like the few. And there's this lady, Caltane, who is obsessed with Prince Dorian. But Dorian, like I said, is obsessed with Selena. And so she makes an arrangement with this like 40-year-old man, at least in my mind. I don't know how old he actually is, but he's like way older than her for sure. And they're going to poison Selena in the final round because now it is down to just Selena and this warrior crazy dude named Kane. And so she's gonna poison her, not to kill her, but to like throw her off her game so that Kane can. And then she can have Dorian. Anyway, Caltane's poisoning works. Selena is now fighting Kane and she's like all like, huh? And like she's seeing things and stuff and she's like about to die. Kane is like beating the crap out of her. And then all of a sudden the queen shows up. And she's like, you know, the queen of like olden times, like not the real queen, like the dead queen. Shows up and is like, I'm gonna take the poison from you. And fixes everything, and that's great. So, Selena finishes it. She like kicks the crap out of Kane and wins and kicks him out of the circle. And so now she's the king's champion. But wait, there's more. Selena didn't kill Cain. She just knocked him out of the eligible circle that they were fighting within. And then he stands up and he's like, gonna go kill her. And so Chaol has to stand in and stab him. And yeah, he is like the guard of the king, the whatever the heck I said earlier. I can't remember anymore. But he hasn't killed anyone yet. So he's like freaking out. And so yeah, Selena breaks things off with Dorian. Which, rightfully so. I know a lot of people still ship them together, and maybe things change in, like, the book too. But I'm sorry, like, I really don't see them changing for me. I don't like him. There, I said it. He hasn't done anything bad, but I don't like him. So, maybe it's because he's, like, too good. And I don't like guys that are too good. So, that's where it ends. So, here's the breakdown. Cover design is going to get a 3.5. I like it. It's appealing enough. My only question is who is that supposed to be? Because if it's Selena, her hair's not white, it's blonde. And that's like gray skin. So like, I'm real confused. Is it foreshadowing? If it's supposed to be her, it's a very loose interpretation of her. So it's a 3.5. Characters are a 4.5. I love Chaol. I love him. He is like my favorite of the whole book so far. And Selena's great. I love her. She's badass. That's great. Dorian is cool. I don't love him. I'm sorry. I don't. You can give him dark hair and blue eyes all you want, but it's not going to win over my heart. So sorry. Nehemia is cool, and the king's obviously an ass. We all know that. So that is going to get a 4.75. I really love this story. It's, you know, about an assassin that was like, I think she was trying to assassinate the king, if I'm being honest. But then she was like imprisoned, and now she has to work for him and like do his bidding and like fight for her freedom. And like, that's a lot. So like, I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Ending is a 4.5. She gets her freedom, in a sense, because obviously, like, she still has to be the king's champion. She doesn't get either guy so far, so I don't know how I feel about that, but it is what it is. And yeah, so it's a good ending. Not a great ending. Book drop is gonna get a 3. I feel like it's when Caltaine poisons Selena, or when you realize that Cain is the one that's being all, like, voodoo possessed by, like, the evil things. Neither which was really unexpected in all reality, so it's not that great to me. So it's gonna get a 3, which gives Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas a 4.05 out of 5. I actually think I gave it a 3 on Goodreads, just because like it feels like story building, you know, and like character development. This whole book, that's what it is. And so maybe the rest of the series is really great. I'll let y'all know, but this just felt very heavily building. Thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned until next Friday. And as always, stay boozy, my friends.